Hi, everyone, and welcome to POLI 220, the Constitution and American Democracy. I'm Professor Blake. I'm your instructor. This is the first of two videos that is going to show you what the course is all about, how our Blackboard site is laid out, how you're going to earn your A, all that stuff that you need to know. This video is going to focus on the syllabus. The other video will focus on our Blackboard site. But to access the syllabus, you have to first log on to Blackboard and then click on this syllabus link. Getting that pulled up, and now we can go through some important information right off the bat, and that is you need to know about office hours because everyone is going to need to meet with me during office hours at least once. You can come as many times as you want, but you will need to come at least once over the next 6 weeks because there's a paper due at the end of the semester, and you have to get my approval for the topic, and that involves an office hours meeting. So my regularly scheduled office hours are on Wednesdays from 12 to 1 Eastern Time. They're in my WebEx room. There's also going to be a link to my WebEx room on our Blackboard site right down here. I'll get more into that in the next video. But let's say that, you really can't be free on Wednesdays from noon to 1. Perfectly fine. Shoot me an email, list some days, some times that work for you, and we'll make an appointment. But if you are able to come on Wednesdays, please do. Just note that office hours are first come, first serve, which means that if you're stuck in my lobby, maybe a student ahead of you, send me an email if you're stuck in the lobby, and I'll give you an update as to what's going on. Okay, so you can always reach me via email. What else do you need to know? I guess, what kind of class is the Constitution and Democracy? This class is going to be a little bit different from any other law-related classes that you've had before. If you've never taken any political science or any law-related classes, that's perfectly fine too. But what makes this course a little bit different is that we are not going to be talking about anything involving individual rights. There's going to be nothing about the rights of the criminally accused, nothing about the right to bear arms, really not even anything about speech or religion. We're not going to be reading anything the Supreme Court has had to say on any issue. Instead, the kind of things we're going to be talking about are, well, how well does the governing structures set up by the U.S. Constitution align with what we expect out of a democratic country? So, for example, why does it make any sense that even though very, very, very few people live in Wyoming, they get the same number of senators as California, where lots and lots of people live? Those are the kinds of questions that are the subject of this course. So by the end of this summer semester, I hope you're going to be able to understand the role the Constitution plays in both promoting democracy, but also sometimes hindering democracy. And I want us to be able to understand whether or not the way the Constitution operates today aligns with how the founders thought democracy would be running 200 years after they wrote this document. And then you're going to be proposing your own change to try and improve the functioning of American democracy in a final paper where you pick an amendment to the Constitution and sort of justify why we need that change. So to learn, to get all the ammunition we need to tackle these themes, there are going to be 3 books. All 3 are available for ebook purchase directly through Blackboard, and that gives the Blackboard's connected to the UMBC bookstore, although you can buy an ebook copy wherever you want, or a hard copy wherever you want if you're into that too. Okay, assessment. How do you earn your A? 3 different kinds of assignments: quizzes, discussion boards, and 1 paper. The 3 quizzes are 15% each. There are 3 of them, one at the end of week 2, at the end of week 4, and the end of week 6. There'll be 2 discussion board posts every week, and then the final paper is due on the Wednesday of the last week of the semester. The grading scale is pretty standard, at least for UMBC. I know maybe some of you might be enrolled at other universities, and it might be strange to notice we don't allow plus grades or minus grades, but something to keep note of. So let's walk through each of these assignments just a little bit. The quizzes are all the same. You learn 2 weeks of material, you get quizzed on it, and then it starts all over again. None of the quizzes are cumulative, and they're structured the same way too. 10 true to false questions worth only 2 points each, 10 multiple choice worth a little bit more, 4 points each, and then 5 short answer questions that's worth 8 points each. This is an important part of the quiz. And to make it a little bit easier on you guys, and because this is a class on democracy, I'm going to allow you guys to suggest questions that you think should be fair game for these short answer questions. And so every other week, there's going to be a discussion board prompt saying like, hey, what should a good quiz question or short answer question on the quiz look like? And I will take your answers and sort of curate them down, maybe add some of my own options. But on the quiz itself, you'll need to answer 5. I will be giving you a list of 10 questions. And so you will know in advance what's going to be asked of you. You just don't know what 5 out of that list of 10 will be fair game. But hopefully that makes it a little easier for you when you're preparing for the quiz. Okay. The discussion board posts, they're always due at, actually all the assignments are always due at 11:59 p.m. At the end of whatever day they're assigned. Most of the discussion board posts are due Sunday nights when I'm asking you to generate a short answer question for an upcoming quiz. I'm going to ask you to have that post done on Wednesdays. But everything's laid out on Blackboard, and as we'll see in the next video. Most of the time, I'm going to be asking you to make one original contribution and respond to the posts of 2 of your classmates. Make sure that you provide evidence to support your position. It doesn't have to be, none of these posts have to be particularly long, but they should be thoughtful and importantly considerate. And then there's a rubric on how to succeed on Blackboard, on discussion board posts. I don't accept late work for this assignment, but I'm going to drop your 2 lowest scores over the course of the 6 weeks. Finally, the constitutional amendment paper. The focus of this paper has to be on something to improve the functioning of American democracy. So stuff around individual rights is not going to be a topic that's going to be approved for this assignment. And that's one of the reasons why I want you to meet with me in office hours to get a topic approved, to make sure that you're sort of understanding the very specific requirements for the assignment. There are lots of detailed instructions on Blackboard that we'll get to in the next video. The other reason I want you to meet with me in office hours is so that I can give you some sources, because you're going to need to do your own research to support the position that you're taking in your paper. I'm looking for a paper of about 1,600 words. I was a student once too. I know that if I say 6 to 7 double-spaced pages, you might choose Helvetica font to pad it. And so let's go by word count. Please include the word count at the top of your paper so that I can see how close you are. You don't have to hit 1,600 words right on the button. It can be a little bit lower or higher. Use your best judgment, that sort of thing. There will be a rubric for this assignment too. This will be due on the final Wednesday of the semester. And I'm doing it that way to build in a little bit of extra time for you to turn it in late. Because as soon as week 6 is over, I've got to turn my grades in super quick. And so if you miss that Wednesday, that last Wednesday deadline, late papers will have a half a point deducted for every hour past the due date. Now, however, if for any assignment, discussion board posts, quizzes, whatever, there's an issue involving illness or family emergency, let me know as soon as possible. And we can work something out so that you can get the time that you need and you're not penalized. Technology policies for an online-only class. It's really important that you check Blackboard and your UMBC email very frequently. And feel free to email me for any reason, and you should expect a response in 24 hours. Other things will be, announcements for the whole class will be posted on the Blackboard announcement page. Do not cheat. Anyone who's taken any of my classes before knows that I'm I'm a big stickler, especially when it comes to using, do not use artificial intelligence to write any part of the final paper. Yeah, I don't want to dwell on that too much, though. If you're a student with special needs, please make sure that you have talked to the folks at the UMBC Student Disability Service Office. I make it a point every time I teach a class to mention that I have a learning disability, and I never got it diagnosed until graduate school. Until I went to see the Student Disability Service folks at the University of Texas, who are great, and the UMBC people are great too. So yeah, and then a couple other resources worth noting. The Writing Center can be a really helpful thing once you have a draft of your final paper done. And then if you need other services, including counseling services, there's info on the syllabus about that too. All right, and the last thing on the syllabus is the course schedule. And for every week, we have a theme. There are readings listed for that week. You can also find the same reading list on Blackboard. I'll show you in the next video. There are going to be at least one, many times two, interactive lectures that you can watch online at any point. And then there will be assignments due every week. So for week 1, it's a couple of discussion board posts due that first Sunday. And then you'll see we'll move on to a different theme in week 2. Here's when I'm going to have an assignment due on Wednesday. You give me a short answer question suggestion. Then that Thursday, I will post the eligible short answer questions so that by Sunday, you do your other discussion board posts and you finish the first quiz. The quiz will open on Friday at 12:01 a.m., right? And it'll you have to finish it by July 20th is the Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Yeah, so the themes, just to sort of jump around a little bit, we'll start by looking at why we want to have why it's important to ask questions about how well the Constitution is functioning. You're going to get to explore the Constitution a little bit. Then we're going to go in and talk about issues with democratic fairness when it comes to our lawmaking process, our executive branch. Then democratic issues around the federal judiciary, our constitutional amendment process. And then come week 5, we'll talk about the undemocratic nature of the way we hold elections in this country by not only looking at our own experience, but by looking at the experience in Great Britain as well for a really nice sort of like comparison and contrast thing. And then speaking of Great Britain, the last week we're going to be considering maybe not just big ways to change the way we hold elections, but big ways to change the way that bills become law and stuff like that. Again, sort of using the British as an example.